After we enter the door, we spend a few minutes descending into darkness. Soon enough, however, we reach an area with torches lighting the way. It seems to mark a path straight forward. This must be it.
Wow, it's so dark. I can't even see where I'm going.
You seem flabbergasted. Wow, it's so dark.
Just give it a few minutes. Your eyes will adjust. I remember my first time down here. I was terrified.
He presses his back against the wall and waits. We all do the same and wait around until we can see.
The torches only help so much. We put a majority of them in our actual HQ. Basically, we only have them down here to...
Cuts himself off and looks further down the tunnel.
Everyone quiet. Backs against the wall. Now!
We do as instructed, and I notice an aura of fear overtake us. Must have something to do with how the guy you've all been paying attention to was scared of some shit. I stare down the tunnels, and I see a suit of armor start to emerge. White and gold, just like my vision. Takes slow, clunky steps. I look over at Valessa and Fortame. She's fine. He's shaking. He glances back at me, and I nod, letting him know that things will be fine. It isn't much longer until the suit of armor reaches our location. It stands between all of us as we press ourselves against the wall. It's almost like it can't see. It has no idea that we're here. That's odd. After a minute or two of standing guard, it turns around and walks away. Its steps echo through the tunnels, loud, metallic, and hollow. It's frightening. But when it's far enough away, we all sigh and stand at ease. We're safe now.
What was that?
The Triumvirate's honor guard. They're the ones that built this underground complex. We find it best not to interfere with their efforts in any way.
Why is that?
They're almost like caretakers, so we let them be. All we know for sure is that they're disobeying their masters.
Really?
Yeah, at least that's what it seems like. Rather than search for the idol, they built a utopia. I think that was the choice of the spirits inside them.
Spirits?
Yeah. They were created by the Blade of Exodus. The spirits inside are victims of their vicious occupation.
Right. Then it's just like the seer said. Wait, victims of the occupation?
Yeah, it's sad, really. They want to live again, so they built a home.
Valessa looks sad and takes a few steps back. It doesn't take a genius to realize what she's thinking. Having been a few minutes, our vision has adjusted.
Sorry about that, everybody. Those things are brittle and weak. If we so much as bump them, they fall apart.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there's nothing inside. They're controlled purely by spiritual energy. They were strong at first, but they're weak now. It's almost like it degraded over time. Who knows, maybe we can even power them with that blade. A bit of irony, right? Use their own forces against them.
This is all so complicated.
Yeah, and I'll admit that even I don't know everything. But we won't get to that point if we don't keep moving.
He motions to the end of the tunnels.
So, shall we?
We all nod as we continue to move through the tunnels. However, Damek seems distracted. There's something on his mind. I guess even a man in his position can't have a grasp on everything. Everyone makes conversation amongst themselves as we continue. Perhaps it would be a good idea to talk with Damek a little bit more. Seems like we have a bit of walking ahead of us still. Ooh. Access Damek heart-to-heart 1. As we walk down the tunnels, I make my way to Damek's side. I ask him what's on his mind, and the people behind us give us space. I'm thankful for their consideration as we finally get some one-on-one time.
What's on my mind? Oh, it's nothing too major. Say, can you keep a secret?
And the rule I remember that we always do in this game is we're always doing the heart stuff.
Again with the flattery. You already made a good impression, you know. If you keep doing that, I might just get the wrong idea.
Or the right one, you know. He blushes and shuffles in place, embarrassed. How do you shuffle in place while you're walking? Not sure why he trusted me so easily, but I'm not complaining. Sometimes it's hard for someone in a position of power to have confidants.
About that suit of armor earlier, I think I scared everybody with my caution. Between you and I, that was a bit of an exaggeration. Like I said, those things are brittle and weak. I just didn't want anybody to knock them over, you know. If we kill one of them, what happens to the spirits inside?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, actually.
I want to find a way to free those spirits trapped inside. Something tells me that killing them won't accomplish that. This is the sole reason why I tell everybody to leave them alone. They're harmless. They mind their own business. It's my belief that we should give them the same courtesy. That is, at least until we find a way to give them more freedom. Though they don't serve the triumvirate, they're still trapped. Nobody should be forced into a position like that. They're just like us. Spirits of family and friends. Spirits of innocent occupation victims.
He lets out a long sigh, like the ability to vent is a godsend. I can tell that this is something he's been keeping inside for a while.
Sorry for rambling on. I think I'm just trying to defend myself. Last week I accidentally bumped into one.
Uh-oh.
It crumbled and fell to the ground. I felt absolutely awful. It's like I killed them. Who knows how many spirits were inside that one suit? I mean, in this war, I have to draw blood. I have to kill. But normally I reserve that punishment for our enemies. We're talking about the spirits of long-lost family here, Seer. I feel like I did something wrong. I almost feel like I'm a murderer, you know? It's odd how blurred those lines can be in war.
Yeah, and this is coming off the heels of the supposed... And I feel like this conversation would hold more weight if it wasn't so goddamn obvious that the letter between Shane and Sovi was fake. Because if they played it straight, if they played it like it was possible that the letter from Damek wasn't fake, then this would hold more weight. Like, oh, is Damek lying to us now? Is it possible that he's being sincere or maybe not? Like, that would make this seem like a more complex situation. Can we really trust him? Oh, it's like a whatever. Like, that would make it more interesting. But the fact that we clearly could tell, not only from the absolute buffoonish behavior of Shane, but of the total villainous behavior of Sovi, that whole situation was false. And then with this, there's just it gives no complexity. This was an opportunity wasted. It could have given the possibility of a complexity. This could have been more interesting, but they wasted it.
Kill the enemy leader? You're nothing short of a hero. But kill a citizen going about their business? You're a monster. Maybe at the end of the day, that's what we are. Monsters.
Gotta do the flattery. More like a hero to me.
I wish that's what I felt like. There's just so much pressure. I guess you know what it's like.
We continue walking down the tunnels while he vents. I can understand where he's coming from, and I can relate. It's all about the greater good, regardless of what we did.
Everybody expects me to lead us to victory. They call me a master strategist and shower me with praise. But at the end of the day, I'm just following in his footsteps. Salus was the master strategist, I just worked under him. They say I fill his shoes quite well, but I don't think that's true. I think they need something to believe in. They need hope.
They need a symbol of peace. I'm here.
They pushed that need for hope onto me, and I became that hope. Honestly, I think I'm more of a symbol than anything else. I'm sure you know what I mean. You're the seer. You had this role thrust upon you whether you wanted it or not. It's kind of the same for me. I'm the general. I had no say in the matter. This pressure and all those expectations, I'm afraid I might break. Do you have any advice?
Ooh. Well, we're always saying the nice, the lovey-dovey stuff. Let's share our burdens together, Damek. Oh my.
Together, like second in command. I actually like the sound of that. We'd be a team. Something to think about at least, thank you.
Right over his head, it seems.
I guess there's not much more we can do, huh? Perhaps we'll have some more time to talk later on. My doors are always open to you, Seer. I promise.
Your doors, eh? Gives me a slight smile and we continue to walk. The end of the tunnels are growing even closer. It seemed like this leg of the journey was over. There's wooden panels on the floor, almost acting like pavement. However, it's only a bit more comfortable than the actual floor would be. It's seemingly more for aesthetic purposes than anything regarding comfort. Drops of humidity and moisture hit the wooden panels, making them split. Looks like they've been here for a while, with clear signs of erosion. With what I know, I'd say that these tunnels are almost 20 years old. You can age wood by appearance? My god, you're talented.
Hey, Valessa! Watch your step.
Huh?
There's a bit of a bump here. I almost tripped.
Don't worry. I'll be fine.
Ooh, a minute later she trips. Oh, snippety snappity! It was a clear sign that she disregarded his warning. He laughs and keeps walking forward, highly amused.
Let's not talk about this.
Ha ha ha, comedy. I can see a makeshift doorway at the end of the tunnels. That must be the entrance to the Rebel HQ. Finally. It's a bit far away, but I'm glad it's actually in sight.
What's the matter? Are your legs sore?
No, not at all. I'm just running out of breath. Is it a little stuffy down here, or...?
Yeah, it is. Don't worry. You get used to it. A small price to pay for privacy, if you ask me.
Right.
Yeah. Oxygen. Who needs it? There are torches lining the tunnels, freshly lit. Must require a lot of maintenance to keep these tunnels accessible. I'd hate to be down here when those torches die out. Sounds terrifying. Thankfully, they don't seem to be at any risk of fading away. We could stay down here for a while without any worry. However, it doesn't seem to be on any of our agendas. Ah, here we are at last. As soon as we exit the tunnels, it's immediately easier to breathe. Sunlight pierces through the ceiling with the surface in sight. Those tunnels must have started low and worked their way up. However, the exposure to the surface doesn't compromise our privacy. Unless someone were to look! There's no way anybody would find this place unless they knew about it. And from what I could tell, only a select few did, so we were perfectly safe.
Ah, home sweet home. I'd like to welcome you all to our new HQ. It took some coercing with the mayor, but it's ours.
Wow, this place is incredible. And the honor guard built all of it?
Essentially, yeah. With a few finishing touches by ourselves, this is what they've been working on for 20 years.
A lot of CO2 built up right in front of the fucking pop shield.
That's crazy. All of those weapons, too. It's almost like they made it just for us.
I wonder.
We can dream, but I doubt it. Hey, Ulrich, Pro, can you show them around?
He motions towards Valessa and Fortame.
Sure.
You got it, boss.
Pro is being overly polite, like to make it up to Damek. He sneers at Pro in reply, still a little upset at his slight delay. However, moments later, they all leave the room together. Damek turns to face me, with just the two of us in the lobby. A few rebels run from room to room, going about their business. I can tell from the way they move that they don't want to disturb us.
Well, what do you think? This is it. This is our home.
Our home? You want to move in together already? God, this all flirt run is just cheesy.
What? That's not... you know what I meant, Seer.
He smiles and shuffles in place. That actually makes sense now that we're not actively walking.
Well, time to start the grand tour. Let's see, where should we go first?
He places a hand on his chin, losing himself in thought.
Ah, of course. The library and the barracks.
He points to two of the nearby doors.
The library is great for studying, and the barracks, that's for socializing. You'll definitely want to meet your new allies. So, let's start with those. After that, we can go to your personal quarters. That's right, all of you are getting your own rooms.
Oh, nice, nice. My own room? Oh, that's pretty impressive. This place must go deeper than I thought. I nod and smile as I start to follow Damek. We were finally here. I felt like I could relax now. Well, that won't last long. This entire journey has just been one thing after another. Well, that tends to be how a sequence of events happens. But now I can rest and have privacy. I'll never take it for granted again. Oh God, what the hell? What the fuck was that? The library and the barracks are accessed through this area. Use the map icons by the two doors to navigate to these optional areas. To move to your personal quarters, you must return to the region map. Achievement unlocked. One step down. A pile of shit! These doors are blocked by countless crates and supplies. I guess there's nothing of purpose behind those doors. Seems that only the library and barracks are important. However, Damek also mentioned the crew quarters and war table. One of the doors is in this massive room, must lead to deeper inside. Almost have a hard time believing those suits of armor made this. There's a rack full of swords almost in pristine condition. Damek was right. The honor guard really left them everything. Almost like this was planned. This place was a fortress, and their army is much larger than I thought. There's light piercing through the ceiling. This slight exposure to the surface makes it much less stuffy. It's easier to breathe here, and everybody seems happy about that. However, the light illuminates the dust lining almost everything. We can even see the dust permeating the air. That's kind of gross. With every breath I take, with every move I make, I'm worried I might breathe some in. Let's go to the library. When we enter the library, Damek rushes forward. He closes a few books and tidies the room as I catch up.
Terribly sorry about the mess. It was impolite of me to leave it this way.
Yes. After a few more moments, he stops cleaning up. Didn't really bother me. He's just trying to make a good impression.
Well, there's not much to say about the library. As the dust would show, it doesn't get much use. But you'll find books here on pretty much everything. It's a great place to brush up on stuff you might be rusty on. It has a decent collection too. If it's out there, it's probably in here. Feel free to use it at your leisure. It's quite peaceful.
He smiles as he makes his way back to the main landing. This place was pretty big. I'm surprised they have so many books. It's almost a shame that they don't get much use. Maybe I could change that. The Rebel HQ library contains every book you've read on your journey. Brush up on knowledge and check on the status of your collection. It's a great way to read books without revisiting old areas. Scholar! Nice! Oh, we seem to have missed some. Well, my fucking bad. Well. my apologies. Go to the barracks. We enter the barracks, and Damek quickly looks around. There's a bunch of rebels practicing with swords. Those training dummies seem to get a lot of use.
Well, this is basically our training room. It's a great place to socialize as well. I'd consider it our main hub, actually. If you can't find a comrade, they're probably in here. There's a bunch of seats at the back for when we eat meals. I guess that makes it a bit of a cafeteria too, doesn't it?
I guess so.
Anyway, there's not much more to say. Make use of this room at your leisure. I'll meet you back outside when you're ready.
He makes his way back to the main hall. I stand and watch the rebels practice with their sword play. There's so many of them. This really was a sizable army. In this room, you can rewatch all previous party banter. It's great to revisit content without moving through a ton of old areas. Well, it's so nice of you to pat yourself on the back and say it's great to do that. Click the letters for a list of which party banter is located in which grid spot. Catching up. Oh, yes. Well, so nice, so good, so lovely. Well, I guess we haven't done that yet. We enter my personal quarters after a small trek through the HQ. His room is a lot larger than you thought it'd be. The bed, as well, is quite big. There isn't much of a tour to be had, so Damek sighs in relief.
Well, that about ends the tour. After this, it's just the crew quarters and the war table. I imagine this is where you'll spend most of your spare time.
Oh my. He walks to the back of the room and inspects the shelf on the wall. Moving books and papers aside, he seems a bit sad.
This room belonged to Shane. He was dear to me. I sent him on a dangerous mission to the Triumvirate's castle. He's been gone for a while, but I know he'll be back. I can feel it.
Oh, Shane. Oh, Shane.
So try not to get too comfortable, all right? This is just where you'll stay in the meantime. I wouldn't want Shane to think I forgot about him.
I nod. That makes perfect sense. But I wonder why he was inspecting the shelf. He stopped empty-handed, so he didn't find what he wanted.
You deserve a lot of rest, at least for today. Just follow me for a little bit longer. We're almost done. I'll show you where your comrades are staying.
Again with the flirty option. Are you sure you don't want to spend some time alone first?
We should actually get things moving. I'll meet you outside, Seer.
Jesus Christ. He walks back to the door and waits outside. You're starting to feel kind of bad. I guess it was time to finish this tour, finally. The crew quarters was our next stop. There's a bunch of scrolls and books atop this shelf. They must have belonged to the previous owner, Shane. As Damek mentioned, this used to be his quarters. Bit odd to give them away if he's still alive, though. After investigating a bit more, I find his journal. The last entry is regarding his upcoming mission.
Shane's journal. Damek has tasked me with something risky, but I know I can pull it off. I'd never let him down, and I truly owe him my life. He wants me to get caught on purpose. I know, it sounds stupid, but if I can get behind enemy lines, my insight could be invaluable. We know a lot about their castle, but we still know next to nothing about the Triumvirate themselves, let alone the forces of the Inquisition. This is my chance to expose them. So many questions, finally answered. I'll have to brush up on my acting and make it look like I'm actually getting caught. That'll require some planning, but I'll make sure that it seems natural. They'll likely starve me, or torture me, or worse. But I'll endure it. It's nothing new to me. I've endured it all in the past before Damek saved me and took me in. I'll survive it again for our cause, and for him. All for him. Shane.
Well, that seemed a little culty at the end there. But, that really does throw the whole, oh, you know everything about our castle, what else is there needed to know? Like, he knows what else there is to know. There's a whole bunch of stuff there is left to know. They don't know much about the Triumvirate. That's what he was supposed to go find. So the whole thing where, Sophie was like, well, obviously the mission was stupid, the mission was a trap, because, they sent you on a mission that doesn't make any sense. Well, no, because the mission makes sense. Oh my god, the whole Shane being flipped thing makes no fucking sense! It makes no sense! It's so dumb! Also, they said this was the last entry in the journal, then why is it page 1 and page 2? You see at the bottom here, where it says, if my mouse will ever show up, page 1 and page 2? Immersion's fucked. So he was scared, but loyal to Damek. Good thing Damek isn't the type to take advantage of that. I'm sure Shane would carry out his goal just fine, definitely. I inspect these boxes, and they're full of food. Definitely stocked up. They definitely stocked me up for a long stay. Thankfully, it was stuff that wouldn't go bad too fast. I rummaged through it, impressed at the selection. Was this all really provided by the honor guard? They don't need to eat. So what were they doing? Making a big old box for everyone to get squished in. Why are there candles so close to the bed? To set you on fire. I can understand wanting to be warm, but fire hazard much? Yeah, blow them out if things get too concerning. There's a table lined with pretty much everything I'd need. Seems like this room was equipped with stuff for a long stay. However, something told me I wouldn't get much use out of it. My training regiment would likely be intense. Early to rise, late to sleep, I could tell. After exiting my room, he takes me to a large hallway. At the end of it is a grand door, surely leading somewhere important. Lining the sides are smaller doors. I assume they lead to more private rooms.
That door right there leads to the war table. That's the end of this tour. It's where things start. I'll go over our battle plan and give you an itinerary. Your training will commence tomorrow. I can't believe this is finally happening. It almost feels like a dream, you know.
He lets out a nervous laugh before turning to face the large door.
Well, these doors on the side lead you to your comrades' rooms. Valessa and Fortame have been given personal rooms just like you. My quarters are here as well if you'd like to come spend time with me.
Oh my.
I'm going to make a quick stop in my room, actually. After that, I'll meet you at the war table, alright? Take some time to unwind. You really deserve it. It's been a pleasure, Seer.
With a smile, he walks off to one of the side rooms. I guess that's the one I'd go to if I wanted to see him. With some long-awaited free time, it might be a good idea. However, I should make sure to spend it wisely. As soon as I met him at the war table, things would begin. And something told me that nothing would be easy moving forward. Ah, achievement unlocked, Home Sweet Home. So this game just, I mean, it is visual novel, pretty linear. You get an achievement for just playing the fucking thing, I guess. Use the region map to move to the war table and continue the story. For now, feel free to roam the world and access content at your leisure. Every unlocked character has a heart-to-heart in the crew quarters. Oh. Aww, look at all these hearts. 2 hearts. Alright, let's have a heart-to-heart with Fortame. I enter Fortame's room that looks remarkably similar to our own, and see him sitting at the table. He's engrossed in a book look. It almost looks like he's studying. take a few steps forward and announce my presence to him.
Oh, hey there! You might want to read this, Seer. I was just looking up how to save Valenorth.
That's right. He wants to reconnect Valenorth to the spirit realm. Without the power from the idol, Valenorth would freeze over. At least, that's what we thought. I think that's what I meant to say. His next words surprised me.
Current scholars are losing faith in the spirit realm. They call our reliance on the spirit idols a superstition. Without them, they say the world would be exactly the same.
What?
I disregarded it at first, but then I thought about it. Valenorth's idol has been dim for over 20 years now. Have you noticed it get colder at all? I sure haven't. But one conclusion just brings up a million more mysteries. If they aren't giving energy to the land, what are they doing? Is there some purpose to the spirit realm that we don't know? I mean, I like this hypothesis, I truly do. Forgive my blasphemy, but just hear me out. If the idol isn't important, then Valenorth is fine. That means we don't need to worry about it freezing over. It just brings about a new question. What are the idols? We know that they create seers, but what about the idol here? And what about the idol in Alarinthia that the Triumvirate destroyed? They expect us to believe that Alarinthia was always meant to be a desert? I was told that the destruction of their idol caused it to become lifeless. Either way, more studying is required, but I'm starting to think outside the box. I like that. It's almost like Valenorth was guiding our thoughts, you know? Go against the spirits and you're seen as evil or crazy. But out here, that's normal. It allows people to get more creative. I've seen a bunch of new theories about our world, and the spirits. Anyway.
He smiles and stands up from the table. It looks like he's been keeping himself busy.
We have something important to talk about. I spoke to Pro, and he gave me some spending money. So next time I get the chance, I'm buying that climbing gear.
Nice.
And I expect you to become my apprentice, Seer. I'll show you the ropes, and then we'll climb the grand tree. Hopefully we have time for one last trip before the final battle.
He runs up to me and gives me a tight hug.
It might be a good idea for another date, too. A bit more private than Mazeo's town square. If we can make it to the top, that is. I sure hope so.
So sweet.
I just haven't had much time to practice my climbing. I hope I'm not rusty when the time comes. That'd suck. Climbing the grand tree has always been my life's goal. The first time I attempt it, I want to make sure I succeed. And they say the best way to learn is to teach somebody else. So you better prepare for some rigorous training. We're doing this.
Seems like he's not about to take no for an answer.
No, sorry. My mind is all over the place. Thanks for coming to visit me, Seer. It means a lot. It really does. I guess you better head back to Damek. Isn't he waiting for you in the war room or something? At least, that's what I heard. He sure loves to work.
He smiles and then takes steps back towards the table. But before he gets there, he stops in his tracks and turns around. He really was scatterbrained today, wasn't he? Is everything okay?
There's one more thing I wanted to ask you. I just forgot. Or maybe I was too embarrassed. Remember what Damek said about the Honor Guard? They're powered by the spirits of occupation victims. I know Valessa was thinking the same thing. About our parents. Do you think they're still alive? Down here? Trapped in that armor?
Ooh, that's a rough one. Ooh. Yeah, and we're gonna set them free. I'm not sure what to think, to be honest, or I don't really buy into that kind of stuff. Ugh. That's a rough fucking question. I'm going to go with yes, and we're going to set them free.
Good. I'm glad we're all on the same page. It's something we can talk about more as a group. Valessa feels the same way. She just wouldn't speak up. I saw it in her face, back in the tunnels. I don't know how we'll free them, though. But I think it has to do with your sword. So, until next time then, I'll get back to my reading.
He runs up to me and gives me a kiss on the cheek. After that, we embrace each other and smile.
I can't wait to see you again.
Oh my. Oh, now for another heart-to-heart with Ulrich. Access Ulrich heart-to-heart. The same room every time, it seems. I enter Ulrich's room, and he's laying on his bed, relaxed. Bottles of alcohol line the table nearby, some empty, some full. He hears me enter and immediately rises up, grabbing his sword.
Who's there?
But as soon as he notices it's me, he relaxes with a sigh. Loosening his grip on his sword, he puts it aside. He was a bit paranoid, but with reason.
Sorry, you never know when someone might attack. I don't normally doze off too much, for that reason alone. It's nice to see you, though. I had a good time at the tavern.
I'm glad. He stands up and walks over to the table. A large swig from another bottle, he lets out a refreshing sigh. He must not have had much downtime, but today, it was an off day.
Damek said to relax, so that's what I'm doing. I've known him for years, and he's never said that. I'm surprised he's not celebrating his new pirate treaty. Even if he tells us to relax, I doubt that he's doing it. He's probably already waiting for you in the war room. Don't worry, I'll try not to keep you here for too long.
He shuffles both bottles aside, looking for something specific. It isn't much longer until he finds a much larger bottle, still full. There's a crimson liquid inside. It seems to be a special wine.
I've been saving this for a special occasion. And trust me, Damek giving me the night off is really special. I don't remember the last time I could just sit back and relax.
He pops the cork off the bottle and takes a large swig. Weren't you supposed to savor wine rather than chug it?
Valoranthian wine. It's quite delicious. I'd say it's the best thing to come from that horrible place. Tastes like juice, but trust me, it sneaks up on you later. Shall we?
He holds out the bottle, offering it to me. I accept it, and we both sit down at the edge of the bed. Taking turns, we pass the bottle back and forth until it's gone.
Wow. That certainly took me back. I haven't had a drinking buddy like you in a long time. People these days seem to forget about the finer things in life.
Like self-poison.
Damek is always saying, train, train, train. I don't even know if he's capable of taking it easy. At least Salas knew how to balance work and fun.
Is that possibly why he's dead now? He goes to take another sip of the wine, trying to get the last drops. I wonder how much that cost him. It's probably the best I've ever tasted.
I guess I shouldn't bore you with that kind of talk. Your time is valuable, and you're choosing to spend it with me. Some host I'd be if I sat here and wasted that time of yours.
Be nice. He stands up and places the bottle on the table before sitting down again. The bed is more than big enough to fit both of us comfortably. See where your mind is going. Let's out a long time coming, but I know. The bed is more than big enough, I already said that. He lets out a loud sigh before crossing his arms.
I guess that's all I had. Too bad. The night is still young.
That's not all you have. He laughs softly, looking over in my direction.
Drinking buddies with no drinks? This is a first. What now?
Oh, we all know what happens after that. Has it really been this long since Ulrich's had a friend? He doesn't know what to do, so I gave him some direction. It's crazy how much he knows about me, yet I know nothing about him.
More about me? So you want me to bore you, huh?
He smiles and lays back in the bed, looking up at the ceiling. It's almost like he didn't want to look at me while he spoke. As a courtesy, I lay back as well, and we look up together.
Well, I'm probably older than you think, but I prefer to use the term experienced. I've seen a lot of combat in my numerous years. You kind of grow up alongside battle in Alarinthia. The culture there is so steeped in war it's impossible to avoid. When you come of age, you should already be an expert in combat. I was, but I chose to leave Alarinthia behind as soon as I could. My parents wanted me to stay, but I think they wanted it for them. I came to the mainland because I knew it would be the best for me. You need to look out for yourself. Don't let others sway your opinion. At least, that's what I told myself. I justified breaking my parents' hearts. I can't make it up to them either. They've been gone for ages. They were part of a movement that wanted to change Alarinthia. Things would be better in the hands of the wise, not the strong. An admirable view, unless you were surrounded by the strong.
Damn it. That was funny.
And surrounded they were. They were killed for their beliefs. That's why I hate Alarinthia more than anything. And the way it's run. I told myself I'd come to the mainland and practice my swordplay. I'd only ever return when I was strong enough to win. If I could become the ruler of Alarinthia, I would change their laws. Every leader has that ability, but they only care about their own power. It's always a battle of the strong against the wise. I wanted to go back to that land, both strong and wise. A ruler with a different outlook, he could change everything. It's just the alcohol talking right now, by the way. The childish dream of a young man. That's all it was. This world offers no quarter to men blind on ambition.
He tilts his head to look at me.
And so we offer no quarter in return. This war, it's already taken so much from us. I find myself asking, how much more will it take?
He leans in closer, and his words become softer.
If anything, at least it's taught me something important. We can only truly enjoy what we have right in front of us. Once it leaves our sight, we may never see it again.
Raises a hand and runs it along the side of my face, smiling at me. I can tell he's nervous, but so am I. I know exactly what's coming.
We just need to live in the moment, right? At the end of the day, that's all we really have. Something special we can share and never forget.
Leans in closer, smell the sweet smell of wine on his breath. I lean in too, signaling my consent, and we quickly surrender to passion. Our lips press together once, twice, and I'm unable to keep count. The warmth of our bodies intertwined is all I'm capable of focusing on. He was right. No matter what happened, we'd always have this memory. I wanted to get to know him better, and that's what I did, without words. Well, that was nice. Damek! I entered Damek's personal quarters, and I see him sitting on the bed. He's gripping something in his hand. It looks shiny and metallic. Take a few steps forward, making myself presence known to him. Can you learn to knock on the door? He immediately jerks in fright, startled into my entrance. Looking away from me, he wipes his eyes with haste, wearing a wide smile by the time he looks back.
Oh, hey there. Just keeping up my habit of not being receptive, I suppose. If I knew you'd be here so fast, I would have put out some food.
He stands up and walks to the nearby table. A table! A table! After placing the object he was holding on it, he lets out a soft laugh. I look at it, and when I get the chance, it appears to be some kind of brooch. A brooch.
I trust our HQ is to your satisfaction. Hopefully the rebels have been treating you with respect. That blade strapped to your back pretty much gives you away. Let me know if anybody acts out of turn. I won't hesitate to put them in their place, you know. You're our honored guest, and should be treated as such.
I sure like it when you pamper me like this, good lord. Well, again, we're doing all flirty route.
Hey now, don't get used to it. Your guest privileges extend only so far. After today, you'll be under a strict training regimen.
He pulls out 2 chairs and proceeds to sit down, taking the side closet to the brooch he laid down. It's supposed to be brooch that would have an A in it, I believe. Or maybe not, I don't know. He looks up at me.
Care to join me? I wouldn't mind getting to know you a little better. You're more than just a seer after all.
Yes, I'm also the Energizer Bunny.
It's rude of us to treat you like some sort of symbol. I know some of my troops do that to me since I'm the general, but there's more beneath the surface. So much more.
Beneath the surface is so much more. I nod and take a seat in the chair opposite Damek. Damek! Damek! He smiles and leans forward, displaying an attentive pose. His lack of speech makes me realize that it's my turn to speak. I tell him everything I can, pretty much summing up my life. I tell him how I met Fortame and Valessa, and how we grew up. Most importantly, I tell him about the loss of our parent. As soon as he hears that story, I can see him tense up. He reaches for the brooch and clenches it tightly in his hand. After a few moments of holding on to it, he starts to relax.
The occupation. We all lost something special that day. Some of us lost far more than others. What an unlucky day to be in Mazea, huh? Your parents could have easily avoided that mess. Mine, however, well, not so much. It's complicated. I don't remember what my parents did exactly. I think they owned some sort of tavern or restaurant. It's odd how I remember little else but the chaos.
He slumps down in his chair, his posture emanating sorrow.
I wouldn't normally tell anybody this, but you're special. Oh, not really special, but you caught me holding on to it.
He holds out the brooch, and I get a clear look at it for the first time. It's a floral pattern, clearly feminine. What the fuck does that mean? I'm curious why he fancies it so much.
This brooch? It used to belong to my mother. She loved it. I made sure to retrieve it from her body after the occupation.
He scoffs before shaking his head.
I remember the piles of bodies, hundreds of them lining the town square. The days after the occupation were horrid. Corpses as far as the eye could see. Luckily, I knew exactly where they kept my mother's body, so I went straight to it. How did I know? Well, maybe I'll tell you another time. Just know that this brooch means more to me than anything else. When I hold on to it, it takes me back to simpler times, you know? I don't tell anybody because they need me to be strong. You can't win a war with sentiment after all. I have a certain image to maintain.
Why was that line so much quieter? He looks at me with a smile.
But I feel I can be myself around you. You have the same burden, the same appearance to keep up. When we're together, I just feel like I can be myself.
I hope we can be together more often. I fancy you.
That caught me a little off guard. I guess it explains a few things. Honestly, I'm flattered. Can we please put a pin on that till next time?
Oh!
And sorry for venting about the occupation. It's not exactly the most cheery subject, right? Just felt right to open up to you some more.
It's fine. It's fine. He stands up and pushes the chair back in. I guess this was my signal to leave for now. I stand up and offer my hand for shaking. And to you as well. He does nothing, and I'm left looking like a fool. This isn't the first time he's refused to shake my hand. Rather than comment on the matter, he changes the subject. No, he's just be like, hey, shake my hand, you fuck.
Let's meet in the war room whenever you're ready, Seer. This might be your last resting day for a while, so spend it wisely.
He smirks and sees me out of his room. It was nice to learn more about him and his past. Rather than being the general, he's becoming my friend. Dun 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 dun. Walking back and forth, yeah. Back and forth. Oh yeah, walking back and forth. Valessa, walking back and forth, yeah. I enter Valessa's room and see her pacing around. She looks like she's deep in thought. So I clear my throat. Again, no knocking on the door. What is this? What, were you raised in a barn? Oh no, it's more like a manger. There's enough to get her attention, and she turns to me with a smile.
Oh, hey, Seer. I was just thinking about stuff. So much has happened since we got here.
Yeah.
Remember what we talked about last time? Whether or not we should be open with the people? I was worried they'd use us to their own ends. The ability to foresee the future and change it? That's too powerful. People would pay almost any price. At least, that's what I thought, before you changed my mind. Hiding it from the people? That's just as bad as lying. When we take down the triumvirate, we need them to trust us. They'll be placing the world in the hands of entirely new rulers. Being open is the best course of action. I'm glad you changed my mind, to be honest. I have a feeling that hiding it would be way too hard.
Yeah.
Damek is wasting no time telling everybody who we are. It's only a matter of time until word spreads to the rest of Mazeo. We'll need to come up with some kind of system, or something. Our main cause is helping Damek and the rebellion. But when people hear who you are and come for help, what should we do then? Honestly, I'm at a loss.
We must invent email.
Maybe I'll talk to him and see what he says. It's possible that I'm just being paranoid, right? But everyone says that Mazeans can be ruthless. I just want to help people and ensure your safety. There must be a way to do both, and I know I'll find it. Let's change the subject. This is really stressing me out.
She smiles, yet gives off concern at the same time. It's good that she was thinking about this kind of stuff. Remaining resolute in these circumstances was admirable.
This HQ is a pretty nice place, huh? I'm surprised that those suits of armor built this. Look, there's a bed here. Why would they need that?
They're putting a lot of attention on bringing up the fact that this place was built by people who couldn't possibly have built this, and also wouldn't need half the shit that's in it. Really makes me think that it was a whole trap, considering they were built here on the fucking premise of, and at the service of the very people we are here to fucking destroy. I can only imagine that this is a trap of some kind, but no one in this entire game has seemed to catch on to the very possibility that all of this seems too good to be true. Huh.
Damek says they want to live again, but there must be more to it than that. It's so intricate and clearly built for an army. I really think they wanted to help us out. That's why they built this place the way it is. They must have known what was going to happen. But that also means they're defying the triumvirate. What if we could use their own honor guard against them? Though, to be honest, I still feel a bit hesitant using that term. After what they've done to us, there's no honor left to protect. They've condemned the souls of so many victims to servitude. I guess it was only a matter of time before they rebelled too.
She sighs and sits down on the bed. Slowly I walk over and sit down beside her.
Look at me. All business as usual. Maybe people are right. Maybe I need to unwind. Life can't be any fun if you never take a break, right?
All flirty route. Let's unwind together, Valessa.
Together? Yeah, I can do that. I wouldn't know where to start. There's so much on my to-do list.
Oh my.
I guess I should start from the top, huh?
Oh my? Oh. She motions to the table. There's a bottle of wine on it.
Fortum has been bugging me about this for a while. I guess a drink or two will do plenty to help me unwind. Wanna keep me company? It's better than staying alone.
I nod, and we move from the bed to the table. She pops open the bottle and pours each of us a glass. However, she doesn't sip. She seems hesitant.
Shouldn't we have a toast or something? I mean, we're supposed to drink for a cause, right? I'm new to this, so I'll let you do the honors here.
All flirty cause, so here's to us getting closer together. You gotta remember, we've already had half a fucking bottle at this point, so we're like, hey, pretty.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
We each take a sip and begin to while away the hours. I help her get her mind off her work, and we talk for a long time. After that, I see myself back to the crew quarters, happy. So happy. So happy. Alright, lastly we go to Pro. Pro heart to heart 2. I enter Bro's room and I see him sitting down. He's hunched over a piece of paper, scribbling notes on it. It appears to be some sort of legal-looking document. An open bottle of wine sits next to him, and it's still full. 2 wine glasses sit on the table, on opposite sides of each other. On hearing my entrance, he looks up at me and smirks.
I knew you'd come sooner or later. Good thing the wine didn't get too warm. Have a seat. This is some good vintage stuff.
Well, you seem to be anticipating us then. I pull out the chair and sit across from Pro. As soon as I sit down, he starts pouring us some wine. It's a dark crimson red, and it appears to be quite thick. Again, we're just fucking getting slated by it if you mean.
At least that's what the guy told me. I just asked for their most expensive wine. That job from before? I made more than I thought. I asked myself what I should do with all of it. I mean, there was a ton to spare even after buying food. All I could think of was share a drink with my new friend. So, here we are. Hopefully it's something you enjoy. I'd hate to buy you a treat you didn't like.
All flirty route. Aw, are you trying to win me over?
Wait, I didn't do that already? I already have this whole lovable rogue thing mastered.
Ew.
It's just a matter of sealing the deal with some wine.
Ew, you're gross and I don't like you.
Last time we hung out, I didn't really get the chance. I was worried I'd scare you away when you found out what I do. It's dirty work, but it helps us survive. Somebody has to do it, right?
You're a schmuck.
There's a big difference between me and a regular swindler, though. I do it because we need to survive. They do it for fun and riches. After the war is over, I won't need to do this stuff anymore.
Okay, that's fine.
Trust me, I long for that day to come. I want to just kick back and work on my writing. Right now, I only have time for this kind of stuff.
He motions to the paper he was writing on and sighs.
Organized blackmail, pretty much. That guy I mentioned last time, I was able to bribe him. He gave us tons of money to hide his growing misconduct. Of course, that makes it sound so bad, but you always need to get everything in writing. So we found a better way to word it. Listen to this. I offer Pro this sum of money in exchange for discretion. See? Doesn't sound too much like shady business, does it? Information is a huge market, and so is stopping the flow of it.
You use the same name here as you do on your fucking bribe notices? Yeah, that seems like a great fucking idea.
Everyone is so caught up on doing stuff to make money, and here I am able to make it all by staying my hand. You just need to think outside the box a bit, seer. Anyway, enough about that. We should talk about the important stuff. How are you enjoying the new HQ so far?
Again, all flirty route. But now that I'm alone with you.
Oh, is that so? I guess the drink really won you over then. That's what the guy told me. It was a romantic wine. I mean, not that I was trying to be romantic. Jeez, I hope you don't get the wrong idea. Unless it's the right idea? Then please, by all means.
What a twerp. We continued to talk while taking slow sips of wine. The atmosphere in here is a lot better than back at the tavern. Feels like we're getting to know each other far more.
Honestly, I'm having a really great time. It's not often I get to put everything on pause, but right now, I don't have a care in the world.
Perfect opportunity for them to ambush the shit out of us when we're all drunk and lazy.
If we have more time, want to do this again? I mean, time might be pretty scarce in the future, but what little time I have, I'd totally spend with you.
All flirty route. Are you asking me out on a date?
I mean, if you want to put a label on it, sure. But I was just thinking it'd be nice to spend more time together. We're finally past that whole awkward part of introductions. I mean, I had to come clean about being a swindler, right? I'd rather do it right out of the gate than surprise you later on. We can get to know each other more now and see if we click.
We keep drinking until the wine is all gone. Now we're 2.5 bottles of wine in. It's just casual conversation, nothing too intense. But once we're done, Pro stands up and yawns.
I guess this is it then? For now, of course. It's getting late. You shouldn't keep Damek waiting too long. As much as I hate to cut this short, I mean, it's nice to just push aside all responsibilities. Let's make a habit of it. It'll be like a ritual of ours.
He smiles and I stand up, ready to leave. But I guess he's not ready to see me off just yet. Running forward, he wraps his arms around me.
Thank you, Seer. Next time, it's a date. Just like you said. I'll get more wine and candles. It'll be great.
We got candles right behind you, schmuck. And with that, he's back down to his own business. Sitting at the table, he's lost in that letter once more. I leave the door with a smile on my face. I'm glad we got along. And we character not in our party. We're fine, whatever, fine, whatever, fine.